Chapter 2. In the Oven. A group of well-basted regulars stood around the furnace in the centre of the room, as though gathered for warmth. They were, naturally, entirely naked, their towels slung over their shoulders. I recognised some, but not all of them. There was Willie Mann, who owned a couple of restaurants up around Fitzrovia, and who also ran a number of clients' businesses on his behalf. John Jacobs, who I knew was an art dealer of some kind, though of exactly what kind was never made entirely clear, and a tiresome American, Ned Price, who was some sort of journalist, and who had arrived in London from Paris a couple of years earlier, and who never tired of reminding us that London was not Paris, as if we didn't already know. There were also 3 or 4 others who, from the neck down, looked almost feminine, rather Rubenesque, what Klein would have called shaftig, but who, from the neck up, looked like they had been hit repeatedly by Jim Corbett, John L. Sullivan, and Joe Lewis, slowly and repeatedly, and in relay. In suits, they'd have looked menacing. In the flesh and through the haze of the oven, they were grotesque. In an article, Getting Ugly, published in the popular magazine Photoplay in 1932, Morley writes about the work of the actor Lon Chaney, one of his great heroes, the man of 1,000 faces, who dared to play grotesques, and also about Boris Karloff and his relationship with the Hollywood makeup artist Jack Pierce, who was responsible for Karloff's incredible makeup in Frankenstein. Morley loved monsters. "We always should remember," he writes, "that physical defects are not necessarily signs of moral deformity." Not necessarily, but Morley had never been to Klein's. Well, said Willie Mann, who spotted me as I entered. Willie was a humourless individual with the manners of a second-rate maitre d', who liked to think he knew a little bit of everything about everyone. "If it's not the famous Stephen Sefton, are we not honoured?" The others turned to stare, and it was difficult not to stare back. It takes a moment to adjust to speaking to 6 naked men. "Where have you been, Sefton?" asked Ned Price, ever the journalist. "I've been travelling," I said, which was true. The stone floor was hot beneath my feet. "Somewhere nice, I hope," said John Jacobs. Devon and Westmoreland and Norfolk were pleasant enough places, but I wouldn't exactly have described our experience there as nice. The Appleby crash had been national news. Events in Devon had caused a minor scandal. Norfolk was a mess. Willie Mann took me by the arm and leaned close towards me, lowering his voice. "How are you fixed at the moment, young man?" Willie was only a few years older than me, not even 30, but he referred to everyone as young man. He thought it made him sound avuncular and authoritative. "Fixed?" I asked. He could easily have meant a number of things. "For work," he clarified. "I'm fine, thank you, Willie." "You're in gainful employment?" "You could say that." My work with Morley was certainly employment of a kind, but gainful? In what sense it was gainful, I wasn't at all sure. Certainly I was paid. It got me out of London, but apart from Miriam, it was sometimes difficult to see the benefits. Indeed, because of Miriam, it was sometimes difficult to see the benefits. "I'm guessing you could always do with a little something on the side," said Willie. "Am I right, or am I right?" The oven was beginning to work its effects on me. I usually lay down on one of the benches to prevent myself becoming dizzy. My head was beginning to feel cloudy. "Mr. Klein has some businesses he needs taking care of," continued Willie, "and he needs someone presentable to take care of it. A fresh face, a front man, someone educated, someone like you, Sefton." "And what's the business that needs doing?" I asked, trying hard to focus on Willie's face. "You'd have to talk to Mr. Klein if you were interested." "What sort of thing is it?" "I can't go into details, I'm afraid. It's to do with a little land deal up around Becontree." "Becontree? Out in Essex, where they're building the big estates." "No, thanks, Willie," I said. "I don't want to go to Essex." "What have you got against Essex?" "Nothing, I couldn't even..."